Hi everyone. Now, the fly in the vise is the fly I'm going to be tying. Now, I know it doesn't look much, but if you're looking for a good dry fly for Midge, in this case this is the Bibio one, this is a great pattern. It's basically a Dynamite Harry version. Just to give you an idea, this is a fly here I've tied many a time. This is the bodied version. It's just basically tie a hopper and parachute wing, but I would have the Antron at the back just to give the impression of the wing but help to float the fly. Whereas this one is more like, this is the simplest tying you could ever have. You can have it basically without the legs or with the legs. This is one here, just a plain black. And if you look at it there, sorry, I'll just get it in focus here. There we are. So it's very Midge-like. This is a bronze hook, but basically you've got the impression with the wings, with the Antron, which helps float the fly as much and support it, as well as just the tail hackle fibres just to represent the body, and it works a treat. So, but this is more like, as I say, there's a Bibio version, a wee bit more to it. It's just got a bit more legs. It's just, that's other than that, it's got a bit of red on it. I'll show you how to tie it anyway. It's really simple. Now the hook choice is up to yourself. I'm using, it suits the colour of the fly. This is, I'll just get a hook, I'll show you this is it here. It's a short shank special in black nickel from Full and Mill. It's a size 12. Basically, with the short shank being, the body is equivalent to a size 14. It's the gape of the hook, it's equivalent to a size 12. So it's a really good hook for like a detached light body. Just get it level in the hook, in the vise, sorry. So it's reasonably simple to tie. Now, I've got black thread, I've got the Uni 80, just going to wax it. And then what we do is we start at the eye and we just take the thread to we're in line with the point of the hook. So basically when we let the thread go, it should be in line with the point. Now, to represent the body, I'm using just caught hackle fibres. This is dyed black. And don't be shy with the fibre. You're looking for a look round about, in this case, just the hook length. Tie that on the top, just pinch and loop. Let's check, that's fine. Trim this away. Now, the legs are optional. I've got my last 4 legs here. I'm going to put these on. You could, it's up to yourself whether you want these or not. To be honest with you, you could easily get away without using them. So these are just pre-knotted pheasant tail legs. I need to make some more. I could have ran out, so I've got 2 either side of the shank of the hook. Come in with a turn or 2 to hold them. This is where you can, these will help support the fly as much, give the impression of the colour of the body. Just bring the legs out so they're sitting right. There we go. It's a simple fly, really simple, this fly. And tie them really quick. Now to represent, this is going to represent the wing and post, give you the way, it will help post the wing for the parachute style. So this is multi-yarn, and you can see number 16, and that's white. Now there are 2 lengths just put together. Now make sure you wax your thread. Tie a good inch or so forward of the eye, just tie it on the top. A good few turns. Now this is to represent the wing. So rather than normally when you're tying a Dynamite Harry, you'd be looking at a taper to give impression of the body, whereas this is going to give the impression of the wing, because the hackle fibres and the legs are there to represent obviously the legs and the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with an angle cut, sorry, it's a straight cut on top, but it'll give you an angle cut. Just hold this like maybe 45 degrees to the shank, and then come in, nice taper cut. That should do it. You need that to float the fly, so just leave it. Now because it's a Bibio, I'm going to put some red seals fur at the back here. Just dub it on. This will tidy the back up and add obviously colour. And then bring your thread to the front. Make sure you wax the thread. Just see how distance them away. There we go. Looks okay. And then we've got, I'm using a parachute, sorry, a saddle hackle for the parachute hackle. This is a Hebert Minor hackle that I've got. It's a saddle dyed black from whiting. So you bare the stem, just catch it on the side, 3 or 4 turns. Make sure you wax your thread because you're going to post both the hackle and the wing. So mean posting, it means you just basically, because the wax thread will give you grip, we work our way up. A good 1.5 mil or so, then come back down. Keep your thread in front, and then we're going to wind our hackle. We've got to hold our wing. So basically when we do a turn, hold the wing, come round, and do another turn, but this one should be underneath it, heading sort of basically down. Again, and again, nice and tight, make sure it's tight. To tie it off, what I do is I bring it straight down, lift the hackle fibres all back, basically bring it across the thread and hold it with my fingers, these 2 fingers, bring the thread up, and then make sure you tie it really tight into the root, right in there, really tight. And then we're going to trim this away, but leave a wee stub, just enough to make sure you're tying it in. We've got wax, again just make sure, don't know if you can see there, but there's just a wee bit of me 1/2 mil piece of the stem still there, so I can tie it in towards the eye. We'll get some black seals fur, just lightly dub it on. Now these flies don't look, what do you call it, they don't look like brilliant like, but they fish far, they really do fish really well. Now I've got the seals fur on, sorry, you wind up to the hackle and then come through with the thread, which is basically ribbing it to get to the eye. Just stroke back any fibre going forward, a couple of turns. Now what I like to do, especially when it's dubbing near the head, put varnish onto your thread. Just come in and put finish, but you've got to hold the hackle back. Trim away. Yeah, I've got my tweezers here, got a couple of fibres, I'm just going to pluck them out. That's fine. Now what you're going to do now, just basically, because I've pulled the hackle up, like you can see it sitting up, just basically hold the wing and press it down. Just press it back down to where it should be. Now for the post, I would basically keep it as, don't go too short, at least maybe around about 3-4 mil, just there so you can see it. The best way to look at this fly is to look at it from underneath. You've got the, obviously, I'm going to take it off the vise so you can see a bit better. You've got your legs, you've got your midge light look, you can see the Antron, the multi-yarn, you can see it gives the impression of the wing. The legs there obviously for legs as much as the hackle. Fibres gives the impression of the tail, so it's a good mix, but these sit really high. And you've got all this hook here, obviously the black hook just mixes well with it, just you can spread the legs. Once you start to cast it, it gives you a very leggy look fly, and it's ideal, it's a good wee pattern. There's worth tying in obviously different colours, and Midge are obviously different colours. You've got olives and so on, so you can experiment, but you'll be surprised how well a parachute hackled fly, just, if you're targeting fish, the fish just come on to them. They work really well, so if you can tie a parachute fly, they're certainly worth tying. Just get up on the legs a wee bit here. There we are. That's a bit better so you can see exactly what it's like. Simple fly, as I say, great fun to fish, and I would certainly highly recommend you tie a few of these. Just moving off some of this dubbing. And there we are. So that's the Dynamite Harry Midge, adult Midge. In this case, this is the Bibio version. Good fun to tie. As I say, you could mess about. I mean, this is a pattern tied many years ago. It's basically much the same, but it's got a body. So if you don't like this style, but honestly tie it, you'll not go wrong. You can obviously go back to this one here. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed that. And again, thanks for watching, and till next time.